Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Trader Minute. It's great to have you aboard. My name's Carl. Thanks for tuning in this afternoon. And yesterday, when I talked about the lunch top three, there were just hardly any signals out there. There were some candlestick patterns out there, a couple of bearish engulfings. St. Jude's had kind of a reconfirmed bull vibe signal, and they were hit with a downgrade today, which knocked them off a little bit. All right, today's a little bit different. I found some really good looking signals out there. And so we're going to go take a look at those. As we're talking here, you can see the futures trading. They've been trading a little bit higher most of the day. Hit a low early on. It's a little bit of a pullback about 15 minutes ago, but it's turning back up. We're coming up on the towards the high of the day, which is just a little bit above it here on the futures. So another buy the dip type of a start to today, huh? As far as the market goes. All right, some of the stocks that I'm looking at today, and I've looked through a lot of stocks, and so I'm just going to start off with the top three. First one on my list. Wow, what just happened here? This little trade right here, I'm not sure if that's a rogue trade, but that wasn't there when I looked at this 10 minutes ago. This plunged down here to the 170 mark. But when I was looking at this, it was just a nice little candle here. I don't know if it's a fat finger trade or whatever that might be there. It might get, they might redo this by the end of the day here in the next little while, but that wasn't there just 10 minutes ago. I can go over here and look and see here at Thinkorswim. Yeah, they're not showing it. Yeah, not showing it here on Thinkorswim. So we'll take that out as far as don't worry about that candlestick right there. That did not happen. But IBM, this is a bear vibe entrance. And what I like about this, you can look at this we're going to look at this a lot of different ways. One thing that I always do, you'll always catch me doing is drawing trend lines. I like to draw trend lines. And you can see the trend line it's been on right here. Well, it came up to it and it's bounced off of it, and pushing down today below the 7. Also look at this on a weekly chart. And again, take out that big wick right there, which didn't happen today. The weekly, we're right back up at the 7-week moving average, pushing back down off of it. Look at this on an hourly chart. The 7-day, let me zoom in on that to see that a little bit better. The 7-day moving average is right here. And you can see the last little while here pushing back down off the 7. Okay, so looking at this all directions, signs point much lower. And this is would be a bear vibe entrance. So a bear vibe. Let's talk about that. We've been talking a lot of bull vibes lately. Say that 5 times fast, bull vibe. Uh, been talking a lot of them lately, but here's a bear vibe. Look at the major averages here. The 200, the 100, and the 50. 50 below the 100, the 100 below the 200, all pointing down. And then we've had here some break up through the 7. Now it's coming back, pushing back below the 7. Now, they had their earnings over here. There's some bad earnings, came up. It's just about, didn't quite fill that gap, reversed off of it, and today pushing lower beneath that 7 right there. Bring that in here. They're still showing that there. The volume, so here it's a continuation of a trend. And Jeff brought this up today, and I've mentioned it a time or two too, is when it comes to trading along with the trend, it's nice to have about average volume, but the heavy volume isn't needed as much. It's nice if you can see it, but it's not needed as much if you're trading with the direction of the trend, and it's signaling like here it's a bear vibe, it's been in a downtrend, and now everything here is telling us that this trend is going to continue. So a continuation of the trend, the volume's not as necessary. I'd like to have about average volume on that at least, but it's not as necessary. It can add to the strength a little bit again, but it's not necessary if you're continuing along with the trend. So IBM would be my number one choice as far as one of the top three, and this would be a bear vibe. Number two, and this has already been brought up today, it's a nice looking bull vibe entry. It continues to rally every time I see it. It's trading at the highs, and just a beautiful entrance. Okay, so it's a continuation of the trend. We might get as much as yesterday's volume down here, which is going to be fine. And you look at all the averages here, they've been going up most of this year. So it's got a nice uptrend, well established, a strong push up above. It broke through 80. You can look at it several different ways. It broke through 80, came back and retested 80, bouncing up off of it today. It broke up through the 7 over here, came back, retested the 7, pushing up off the 7. All signs point higher here. How much higher? I'd put this up into the 84 to 85 range. It could get up higher than that, but I really like this setup here. It's a great looking bull vibe entrance. Okay, the last one, not the least, is lows. I'm going to watch this into the close today. All right, same thing, bull vibe, all the averages up. Now this one's been outperforming Home Depot big time. Home Depot shot up a little while ago, and a few days ago, started to shoot up when this was coming back down, but Home Depot is now doing the opposite. So you can look at, like here's a 3 black crow pattern right up here, candle pattern, which did not confirm, immediately reversed to go back. Another bullish sign. Now, there's a lot of different ways you can look at this too. If you look at this on an hourly, a little bit overextended on the hourly. We're trading the upper band, but look at this on a weekly. The weekly, just a strong, steady trend. We're right up that $50 level. A push up through 50 would be a very bullish price action on this. And that's what I'd be looking for here. Let me bring this in. A push up through 50. Okay, now it's a continuation of the trend. We might equal yesterday's volume on this, but continuations, it's not always necessary. Again, to me, it adds a little bit more to it if you get the stronger volume on the continuation, but it's always not a necessary thing. And let me go back to Starbucks. Another thing you can look for on the continuation of the trends is, was there volume that came in a little while before you're getting the signal? And there is some very strong volume that came in here. This volume here can still show a lot of momentum for the stock going forward. All right, so that's my top three. We got IBM with a bear vibe, and then Starbucks with a bull vibe, and then Lowe's, LOW, with a bull vibe as well. Okay, I want to show you, so that's my top three. I got another really good looking signal for you. Got 2 other good looking signals for you, but the options are fairly lightly traded, and I've talked about this one before, and I know someone went out there and traded it, and I believe they did okay on it. The options are just a little bit thinly traded. It's one of the few trend rider signals that you're going to find. This is on Krispy Kreme donuts. And yesterday, and today, a bull vibe entrance. That's what we triggered here with all the averages up. It's been in a nice uptrend, pushing it back up through the 7 like this. And today it's breaking out. It's going to have some decent volume, but again, the trend's well established. And then you also look at this through a trend rider eyes, and we got a nice trend rider entrance. So with the trend rider, I got to start that zoom over again here so I can get everything in there for you. Trend Rider, what we're looking at, an RSI, and here the RSI is not breaking through 50, it's rising up. It's already above 50 and rising, which is fine. It's entered the upper band. The price has entered the upper band today. And you look down here at the Bollinger Band width increasing. So this has got all the trademarks of a nice Trend Rider bull signal. Last time it triggered a Trend Rider bull signal, did pretty well. The stock pushed up through 20, went up to 23 within a matter of days. Price target here, I'd put this probably another $2 to $3 higher from here. Yeah, it could get up into the $30 range. But with the Trend Rider, there's two exits. Two different types of exit. The stop here, I would put on the 7-day moving average. Okay. And then you can ride this using two ways. One of them is just ride it with the Bollinger Bands, and when it closes inside the bands, that's where you take your profit. So if you would have entered, I don't know, somewhere in this range here, get out up in this range when it closed inside the band. There's a couple days here where it's a clear close inside the band. You get out there, or you can use a 7-day moving average. If you use the 7-day moving average, you might be able to stay in a trade a little bit longer than the bands. The band's going to get you out a little bit quicker, and sometimes quick is a little bit better. Okay, the 7-day moving average, you might be able to ride something out where it closes inside the band. Right, so now this didn't happen because it come down. It did close below the 7 over here, but let's say that right here came back to the band and started to go up. It might not have triggered you out. Okay, so stop either way. For me, if you took a profit when it was still outside the band, hey, congratulations, you got a gain. That's what it's all about. If you want to push it a little bit, then I'd close inside the band, pushing a little bit more, close down below the 7-day moving average on the trades. But that's a great looking setup. Again, for us, the options are lightly traded. The open interest on it's below 100 on this. The spreads aren't too bad, but about a 10-cent spread on a $2 option. Hey, but if you're looking for a Trend Rider bull entry, I like this setup right here. And then another one was Clorox. Now this one has kind of come and gone today. Definitely watch these into the close today, everybody. Don't. And maybe we revisit the top 3 into the close, because it's important to watch how they close. Right now they look great technically. But here, if this weakened back below 90, back around the 7, no, don't enter a trade on it. Same with Krispy Kreme. If it pulled back into the close tonight, then don't enter it. And then IBM, Starbucks, Lowe's, watch them into the close. If they fizzle out by the end of the day, then it's not worth the trade. Okay, but Clorox, same thing, kind of thinly traded options. The stock, it's a pretty good day today for volumes. Really picked up here lately. But the thing I like about this, if you look at this through the eyes of a vibe. Okay, what do we got? Here's all of our moving averages right down here in one nice little handy area. The 200's the green, the 100 is the red, and the 50-day is the blue, all just starting to go up. Now that's an incredible move. Look, check out that move. That's an incredible move. This stock's gone $9 in about 3 weeks, maybe a month, $9. That's a big time move. That's well over 10% for a stock. That's a big move. So what's it done? It's had a little bit of consolidation here. It's got its earnings out of the way last week. Got that out. Kind of a reversal up in this range, but it came down and pushed back and pushing back above 90, pushing up through the 7. Very strong looking setup. Okay, let me check one thing with you while we're here. Now the short term, if I look at this on the hourly, we're just pushing up off the 7. That looks good. We look at this from a weekly perspective. A little bit more detail. Now the weekly, we're a little bit overextended here. We're about $4 or so, $5 away from the 7-week moving average. which doesn't mean it has to pull back. Okay, but we're a little bit out there a little ways on the weekly. So this would, I'd do this a shorter term type of a trade. I wouldn't stay in it too long, but right now it looks pretty strong. Now if I go and I want to bring in, let me bring this back to the trend rider, and I'm going to bring in the commodity channel index. And Jeff talked about this. I want to see where this is trading. So with that little bit of a pullback up here, the little bit of consolidation, you can see it brought the commodity channel index. It's really hit 200 just one time. It was up there above 100, up near the $200 level. And you can see it doesn't mean it's going to pull back because it gets up that way, but the longer it stays up there, the greater chance. Well, let's drop back down below 100. So it's saying it's not overvalued right here, right now. This little bit of consolidation helped that out, and that's very bullish consolidation. So I like the setup on here. Now we're going to watch these into the close. Okay, if they look good in the close, we might go out and make a trade for the Vibe or the trend rider. We'll check those out. Some other stocks that I was watching today is Joy Global. All right, this was one of my top 3 from like last Thursday or Friday. No, I'm sorry, it's been a while now, a week and a half or so, over in this range here. But it's had some pullback today. It looked like it might be breaking out, but you can see it's rolled over and gone down. It's just not having a strong breakout here, and that's what you're looking for, is some strong breakouts up above that 7 on a little bit of bullish consolidation here. Just not getting it. Okay. Another one I've been watching today is KeyBank. Now KeyBank, a little bit different. So this has got a nice bullish engulfing pattern. The thing that just doesn't get me too excited about this one, Zions Bank's very similar to this. Okay. Zions Bank has been here as well, but showing a nice bullish engulfing pattern. It's kind of a trend rider bull signal, but this consolidation right up here, I think it might struggle getting out above that 1275 mark. I'd really want this to get a little bit higher before I got into something like that. Simon's Property Group. Simon's Property Group. Let me go to a Vibe entrance here. And from a Vibe, it wouldn't be a Vibe entrance. Let's go over to a trend rider. Okay, so I like it's not really a Vibe or a trend rider entrance, but the candlestick action here where it's dipped below the 7, come up, retested that, and now pushing down below. This closes towards the lows of the day down below the 155 mark. It's likely to come down into the 150 range. Okay, that's what I'd be looking for there. Another one that's been eyeing today is Google. Google, I like a stronger push up here right above the 7, up above that 1020 mark. I'd like to see that a little bit stronger today. All right, before I get off, let's review our positions. Now, TLT, dropping about $1 in this range, coming down to about the 105 mark. Okay, a little bit of resistance down in here. This is one of those trades to where it's gone against us, right? It's gone against us. And there's no denying that. And there's some chat in here right now about it. Yeah, it went against us. We chose to remain in the trade looking for a bounce up off of 106. This is one of those trades, if we get out, the day we get out or the next 2 days later, it's going to get out and then pop back up. But, you know, we'll watch this into the close tonight, see what we decide. There's not a lot of risk left in this trade as far as staying in it. Not a lot more risk left in it. So we'll watch it. We'll talk about this and look at it into the close. The next one is XLE. It's been down about this point most of the day, down about 67 cents. Exxon's still looking really bullish on this one. If this pushes up through 87, we're probably just going to get out of it. All right, SLV, just flat, up 4 cents. And then the last one, ABX. Down 18 cents, down around that $18 mark, just kind of going flat around there. after their stock, the additional shares put out into the marketplace. Okay, so just a quick review of the top three. I got IBM as a bear vibe, Starbucks and Lowe's, LOW, as a bull vibe. Liking those signals today. If you have any questions, comments, I'll take a look at OIH. Yeah, okay, yeah, you're right. When trades go against us like that, the thing's saying that now when you're looking at SLV and you're looking at Barrick Gold, when they gapped over our stops like that, everything changes. And the same thing coming back down, it's gone against us. And it's true, it's not a lot of money left in the trade. Thanks. OIH, so the oil services group here in the New York. Today holding its own up here. There's a little bit of descending triangle pattern on it. If this thing closed near the lows today, it'd be more bearish on it right in this range. That's what would put me in it. But right now, the uptrend's still intact as far as just looking at a little trend line drawn up through here. I'll show you what I'm looking at. Little trend right up here. So the trend's still intact. Indicators aren't really suggesting much. Band's contracting, so it's suggesting maybe not a whole lot more upside here. But right now, playing the downside to me is a little bit too early. Let me look at this through a vibe. Yeah, it's still in bullish mode here. Okay, everybody, I'll be on chat the rest of the day. If you have any questions, comments, and I'll make sure to answer those. Plus, if you want to send me an email, feel free to do that as well. It's Carl at TraderMinute.com. Okay, thanks. We'll talk to you a little bit later. Bye-bye.